Okay, so I kinda wanna try something new and maybe lazy, but this is the kind of thing that just doesn't hurt to do once a year. Maybe it'll unlock the whole new line of feedback or just end up being interesting. Two things that I want to clear out the way real quick. First of all, I'm not a good editor. I'm pretty sure that any professional editor will do the things that I did quite easily and probably with more quality. Secondly, this is not a tutorial. Don't expect me to go, you can click here, here, and here, and then the video appears. No. Now, allow me to begin. I'll start with the bad. The last video, even the livestream outperformed it. I think I had the wrong approach with it. Should have made it as short as possible. Probably more JoJo references, even though I had some useless JoJo references in here. For example, sheer heart attack skulls and voice lines on exploding little tracking thingies. Waste of time. Literally hours of wasted time tracking it down, moving the damn skulls. It wasn't all bad, I think. I mean, I liked the ending somewhat, it was alright. Then the transition with motion fan art into All Might reference was something, even though motion art was the crowning achievement of another video, which I think was the best this year. A lot of people might disagree because of the views and the dislike ratio, however, this is the hill that I want to die on. Just seeing the background shift low bases from black to white to black, the fusion between manga, anime and gameplay, and even though I did the fusion between gameplay and anime a lot before, this one is based on a new element which is motion manga, and I have never combined all three of the elements and tried to make them flow. Not to mention that the video itself involves a new sphere, which is modding, hacking, whatever. Despite all this, I think I might be successful at expressing just how cool the character is. The problems, besides the usual polishing, not only is it difficult to come up with every sequence, but my PC couldn't handle it. In fact, there was a contingency video where I was just saying like, hey, look, I'm not bullshitting you, here is the video, but I can't render it because my PC is committing seppuku. It's just way too old to make the combined After Effects Premiere Pro projects that involves things like animating hair. It does a number on it. Then I messed up on the title, tried to be all trendy and clickbaity. Can't seem to master that at all. My voice I always hated. Ironically enough, it's the center of this video. And the scariest part is that I have to do round 2 when Yoruichi releases in January. And I don't even remember how I did this lightning, for example. Just the possibility of the next Yoruichi video being not as good, it makes me nervous. Hey, since we're on this shot, did you know that they censored the side boob of this outfit in the anime? But the new outfit that is in the arc that is animated this year is way more exposing, so they have to censor that. I wonder how they'll do that. And since we're on the topic of appearance, regardless, this video is a pivot point for my editing in the future, so it can't be underestimated. But what led to it was a Miles Morales video. So yeah, I really try not to slack off on my videos, even though sometimes I do. But in case of Miles Morales, the team that made the movie Into the Spider-Verse wasted 1 year until they were satisfied with 10 seconds. How can you hear this dedication and slack off? I couldn't. So the idea behind the Spider-Verse was that every single shot should look like a comic book panel, and I was like, hey, what elements of the comic can I bring here, and the elements of Into the Spider-Verse? And yeah, there are like transitions in this video, but yeah, there are the things that those don't matter because the real editing was in things that are barely noticeable. Scribbles and text, chromatic aberrations, blinds, stuff that is there for a slight of a second, but seems like it's a part of the game. Because all of this is based on a comic, I started to look closely into the motion comics, and then since I'm connected to the manga, into the motion manga, and here we are. The funniest part is that that video failed, but before that I was testing some stuff in a Spider-Man video, and that got... and that for some reason went just kabammed. It had one really cool edit though, that was a throwback to Spider-Man 2's intro. Nobody caught on that for some reason. Was it complicated to do? You can type in Spider-Man 2 title tutorial, and it's like a 53-minute long video. So I don't know how interested you are in this. Maybe you're like, what is Mort doing? Where is One Piece burning blood? That's why I'm gonna tell you some top tier stuff and then call it a day. Let's talk number 1 loser. So this episode mirrors the last episode of the other My Hero Academia All Might episode that ends the series. Only in that episode I was mostly winning, and in this one it's all about losing. And both of them culminate with a top all-for-one player, because that's an epic matchup. It also took after one certain Jump Force episode that I'm not gonna talk about. But the two coolest things about it is that, first of all, it had a secret finite ending goal that you only discover once you watch the video. And this is probably also a drawback, because somebody has to be invested in order to make it to the end and see the ending. That's why in your whatcha video I decided to make a story too, but you from the very beginning know that the finite goal is to get the character. I don't know if you're noticing, but a lot of those videos are connected. There was a video with Night Eye, the character's abilities to see the future, and in the description of that video that was like 5 months prior to this one, I put a beginning of this video. Do I make sense? Like, I allowed people to look into the future and see the ending of the series, to see this All Might episode. I kept it quiet, and I don't need no excuse, because I was writing my own editing blues. Oh god. And yeah, I know that most of them failed, because usually if the video doesn't get 40k views in 2 weeks with my amount of subs, it's a failure. But I have faith that making these videos made me better. And since every single one of them had some interesting tits and bits about it, I thought that maybe I can make... I don't know, are you interested? I'm confused. Maybe I should do a live stream, but that sounds even riskier. Like, do you have some constructive criticism to my editing in general? I need that. Unconfuse me. Feedback, please.